Okay, it's time for another update here. Um, this is basically pretty much picking up where I left off from the last time. The last time you saw just the basic body with the roof attached, which I've got that pretty much done now. There's a couple little teeny tiny spots to touch up. I do want to grab a little pencil here. I do want to eventually add the overlapping strips that the vinyl tops would have had. I'll leave that till later on. I'm not going to fool with that right now. I want to move on to some other things, but basic roof shape is done. No more work on that for the time being. There's some little tiny spots to touch up, and that's pretty much it. Moving on to the doors here. I got, as you can see here, the door jambs built up for the body. One of the things I like to do is I don't like my models to look empty when the doors are open. I like them to look pretty much complete. So I'll take the time, and sometimes a lot of time, to build up the door jambs of the body. So when you open that door, it's looking, if not like the one-to-one, pretty dang on close to it. So I'll take the time to make the little curves and dips and dives that you see when you open the door up. There'll be a little striker latch that'll go here. There'll be one on the door, and I even got one door hinge so far. A lot of time was spent to make this door fit properly with the proper shut lines. I got it hinged so that when you open the door, just like the one-to-one, it turns on the inside of the fender, not swing out. That's not correct for this era of Mustang. All of them did that. They pretty much turned inside the fender, as you can see here. Pretty much what I did is I made a kind of a sturdy yet not quite like the one-to-one, but a hinge that once it's in, it'll pretty much be very sturdy, because this is going to be open many times as I go to shows and club meetings and so forth. You can see here, I was trying to get this to focus a little better. I'll have to get that to focus out a little bit, but pretty much how that opens and closes there. And what I did is made a support so that once your floor, your rocker, part of your door sill is put in, you can make the support here, and pretty much that's what that's hanging off of. When I open the door up, you can see that there's a little plastic rod. That is 1/16 plastic rod that I attached to the door. And everything I do here is pretty much trial and error. Sometimes it might take you a couple tries to get things lined up and moving correctly. The main things when you do opening doors, you always want your posts to be as straight as possible. You don't want them leaning in too far this way or too leaning far out that way, because if you do, when you open your door, it's going to hang down like differently and too much this way. If it's leaning inside the body too much, it's going to fly up in the air like it's got wings, and that's not quite right. So you want to try to, and you have to eyeball. I eyeball everything, pretty much everything. Just eyeball it, take into account any chassis flex you might have. Sometimes the chassis might be a little wider, might make it your body flare out a little bit more. Got to take all that into account. That's pretty much it I've done so far. It's been, I think, a couple weeks or so since I did the last video. So it's going to be a bit more. I got lots more work to do on the body. I got to add the green Hornet had trim on the bottom here. I got to add wheel well trim. I think at this point, since I got the one door opening and working, I'm going to start on the making the working windows. I'm going to do the roll-up windows for the quarter window for the rear. And then I got the whole other side to do yet. So this will be a build that's going to take me definitely well into next year, maybe possibly the middle of next year before I get this done, because I'm going to really take my time with this, and there's a lot of details. I got to put the Shelby end caps on the rear fenders here yet, cut the trunk out, put the taillight panel in, fair in the spoiler. Lots and lots to do. So be patient, stay tuned, and I'll try to do updates when I can. I'm doing all this on my iPhone here, so I don't have the money or the time or patience to afford a fancy video system. I'm just pretty much doing everything pretty much on the fly here. So hopefully that gives you some pointers on opening doors. If any questions, drop me a line below. I'll try to answer them when I can. And if you also want to check out Model Cars message board, MCM message board, there's a whole thread I have on this car, on this build, on the workbench section. Check it out. Leave a comment. And thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned. Thanks for looking. Bye-bye.